by an ownership group bidding for the Carolina Panthers. Peyton retired after the Broncos defeated the Panthers in Super Bowl 50 and has reportedly had multiple opportunities for jobs in football in the past couple of years. Skip, what's your reaction?
Joy, Shannon, I find this story incredibly offensive. I find it somewhere between sadly and laughably offensive. Okay. Because Peyton Manning does have some baggage, which I will detail in just a moment. So to me, Peyton Manning would be the last man an ownership group trying to buy that team should want to be the face of their group and their bid and potentially the face of the Carolina Panthers, because we obviously know that the reason the Carolina Panthers are now for sale is because the owner, Jerry Richardson, was forced to step down and put the team up for sale after Richardson was accused, according to Sports Illustrated, by multiple women of sexual harassment, and that, according to Sports Illustrated, that he gave significant monetary settlements to several of those women.
Right.
Now, back to the baggage. This story was widely reported when it happened in 1996 in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the University of Tennessee, and then it exploded back into the public consciousness again when Sean King of the New York Daily News reported on it again in the wake of the Cam Peyton Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to 1996. Peyton obviously was the star quarterback at the University of Tennessee. He was 19 years of age, and allegedly he was sitting on a training table while his feet were dangling off the end and being examined by a female trainer, Dr. Jamie Nawright. And because Peyton did not like her, she was kneeling at the end of the table, he allegedly maneuvered his bare genitals to the edge of the table and then forced them down onto her face and onto the top of her head. And then he allegedly laughed about it. Now, again, some people out there, Peyton Manning fans, could dismiss this as 19-year-old college hijinks. We just went through this with the Matt Patricia story, spring break, right? Yep. I'm sorry, I don't. He was 19, she was 27 years of age, and she was so outraged that several hours after believing, let me get this exactly right, that she had been sexually assaulted by Peyton Manning, allegedly, well, she did this, so this isn't even allegedly, Jamie Nawright filed a report with the Sexual Assault Crisis Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it went to court. They signed a non-disclosure compromise between the two of them, which Peyton then subsequently violated because he and his father co-authored a book called Manning, A Father, His Sons, and Football Legacy, in which he wrote about the incident, trying to sort of defend himself on it and clear his name. And he called it crude maybe, but harmless. Really harmless. And also she alleged in subsequent trials that after the alleged incident, that in her remaining time at the university, again, she testified this, that in her presence on two separate occasions, Peyton Manning deliberately reenacted the sexual assault on other student athletes just to terrorize her. It was almost like he was stalking her just to rub it in. And again, you can say there's some he said, she said, but in the end, he did validate it by writing about it in the book. And it's highly offensive to me that this would even be a prospect, that you would go to Peyton Manning to represent the Carolina Panthers. Isn't it almost like laughably, sadly wrong to you?
It is, Skip, and I agree with everything you say. I like Peyton Manning a lot. Know him, got to know him once he signed with the Broncos. Know his mom and his dad. They've been very good to me. But this happened. And if I'm Peyton Manning, Skip, I walk away from this opportunity because I believe there will be other opportunities for him to join a group if he wants to do so in purchasing a team. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, I would tell them, I mean, it's hard to tell somebody that want to pay you $2.6 billion, but he can't be included because, as Joy mentioned too, that hashtag METOO
You
is
got that
really
right.
strong.
Yep.
So if I'm Peyton, I walk away. If I'm Carolina, because you don't want this, Skip, because guess what? I don't care who's the majority partner. Peyton Manning is the biggest name. And so every time how this came to be, how did the Carolina Panthers become available for sale? Well, this happened. And now you're going to turn to an ownership group that has Peyton. And as great as Peyton Manning has been, this unfortunately is following him. But my question is, Skip, how long? I mean, is this going to prevent Peyton from every time something comes available? It's like, well, he did. Yeah, this is documented. It's there. But is this for perpetuity? I mean, is he ever going to be able to get a job? I mean, if he ever going to be able to own a group? I mean,
I don't know. That's a fair question. But again, the irony of this one is it's this team because of this situation.
Right.
It's so wrong that it's the worst situation.
Right. I totally agree. If I'm Peyton, Skip, I'm walking away from this situation. Now, that doesn't mean because he is Peyton Manning, he has cachet. Clearly, he has the money to buy a minority share in any franchise. But I'm walking away from this because of the circumstances of how this came available.
Yep.
You don't want you don't want this because, unfortunately, he's a minority. He's a minority shareholder. Would be a minority shareholder. He's still Peyton Manning, and that's going to come up. And I mean, think about it. Where this happened. This is North Carolina. This is the South. This is the Bible Belt. That's why, because nobody forced Mr. Richardson to sell this team. The NFL didn't say, "Well, you got to put this up." They didn't do. They didn't do to him what the NBA did to Donald Sterling.
Okay, I got that, but it was the handwriting was on the locker room wall. Right?
Well, I think he didn't want any more investigations. He felt that the best way to do this, let me just go ahead and walk away while I can. I mean, I'm gonna walk away with $2.6 billion. It's not like he's walking away with nothing.
Yep.
So I get it, Skip, but it's for me, and this is, and I understand the Me Too movement and how it's impacted a lot of people's lives over the years, and I'm glad it's finally coming to the forefront and people are being held accountable. But I mean, does this prevent Peyton from ever doing something in the NFL, owning a team or being a general manager? I hope it doesn't.
Maybe not, but just to validate her claims, Dr. Jamie Nawright, when this went to trial, the head trainer had, according to her, tried to allegedly concoct a story that Peyton was actually trying to moon another teammate, that it was just all misunderstanding.
Right.
And the other teammate was named Malcolm Saxon, and he wrote a letter that became part of the court documents in which he said, no, you weren't trying to moon me. I'm paraphrasing the letter, but part of it is, Peyton, you messed up. I still don't know why you dropped your drawers. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe not, but it was definitely inappropriate. Please take some personal responsibility here and own up to it. So again, did Peyton own up to it in the book? Not really. He just dismissed it as maybe it was crude, like a joke, but it was harmless. That act, if that was the act, help me out here. I don't think that would be a harmless act.
I mean, I don't think I need to. If someone did that to you, would you consider it to be harmless?
No. And this is my point, Joy. You don't get to determine what's harmless.
Right.
The victim gets to determine whether or not they think that's inappropriate. You don't get to do something and say, oh, it's no big deal. Absolutely, you don't get to determine that. Right. The individual that had it done to them do.
And also, Peyton Manning's going to be fine. I mean, he's made over $400 million over his career with endorsements in football, and this is not the appropriate situation considering the reason that the team is up for sale.
Correct.
There will be other opportunities for Peyton Manning, and he's done fine.
But name an athlete that has the image that he does.
I agree.
This didn't stick.
It did not stick to Teflon Peyton. But if this incident had happened within the last 6 months, it's just
absolutely,
big career threatening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is LeBron close to passing Michael Jordan as the GOAT? We'll discuss that with Rob Parker next.